Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. So, about 11:30, 12/14/2015. Welcome to 53 degrees, 11.7 centigrade, 87% humidity. Yes, it's going to rain. Welcome to Monday. Anyway, first thing I did is I fixed the clock. Right? There you go. Why? I don't know. I got a thing for clocks, obviously. And look at that, batteries aren't fully charged. I wanted to take a minute to reintroduce a project I started on and then got dragged off of with a million other things. You guys remember I had the block wall go bad in the front of the house, so I had to spend quite a bit of time on that this summer. The garage doors. Right, so I had all that, and interwoven with that was the flea market stuff, all the drama at work about the, job ending with one company, going through the retirement, the medical, all that stuff, then starting up with a new company with all their trivia and stupidity. So I got pulled off this project, and the project is the EZGO Electric. This thing started its life as an electric golf cart, 36 volts, and now it is going to be powered by a gas UTV engine or gas ATV engine. I put a TRX200SX engine. That's what's hanging in there. And just quickly, let me go through what I'm up to, why I'm up to it, and so forth. So any of you folks who are out there thinking of doing one of these projects, it's not, maybe I could save you some time and trouble. Okay? I went with the Unistrut. You get this stuff at Lowe's, right? If anybody cares. Some people perhaps steal it from work. I get it from Lowe's. So I went with that, and basically I only had a bridge from here to there to put the axle in. I wanted to set this thing up that everything was not welded into place, and you may say why. To be honest, I'm not sure. I guess this frame just didn't strike me as if it was all that solid and strong. So I kind of wanted to create an engine rear end situation that was added to the golf cart. That way I knew the engine rear end situation was relatively strong and would hold things together. So I put unistruts right along the frame. Right, and you can see how they go underneath there, and I like the way they tuck in right up against the frame there. So what I'm going to do is further down I'm going to bolt them on, and then up front here this piece is going to bridge from one side to the other. Then I have these flat plates that are going to go underneath, and they're going to clamp the unistrut to the frame. In the front of this thing here, I think there was this little piece that I haven't quite tacked on yet that I'm going to create front motor mounts for. Right, if you look down on the front of the motor, you can see where the front motor mounts are. So the front motor mounts will be supported by this, which will be, smashed up against the frame and the unistrut, and it should all be nice and tight. If for some reason it wants to come loose, which would really surprise the heck out of me, right, I got these clamp things. Right, so two will, right, 1, 2. Anyway, if it ever decides to come loose, it would really surprise the heck out of me. But worse comes to worse, I can always do stuff like weld this plate to the unistrut underneath, which would help keep things a little bit more stable. And once again, if I feel that it's walking about, I could even tack this to the frame. So that's how the motor is being mounted. It actually took me quite a while to figure out how to suspend the motor. You kind of have to get the motor into place. I guess you got a lot of things going on all at the same time, right? You kind of got to get the back wheels into place, somewhere near where they're going to be. Well, you kind of know where they're going to be. They got to be back here somewhere. So you got to kind of get the back wheels somewhere near where you want them. Then as you get the back wheels into place, right, you want to put the sprocket on, the brakes, the axle across. So okay, now I kind of know where the back wheels are going. Well, I got to turn the sprocket. The sprocket could be anywhere from there to there. Where do I want to put the sprocket? Right? Now, remember, you can only go so far this way because the motor is going to hit up against the frame. You can only go so far this way because you want to have some space for the gear shifter and all that. Also, given that my weight is going to be behind the steering wheel, kind of on that side, right, when I'm driving it alone, it's nice to have a little motor on that side. I left the front suspension intact, obviously. The back suspension is not intact. To leave or to create back suspension for this thing, then I would have kind of had to put the engine, this whole thing, I guess, would have had to be a cradle so that the engine could have moved. That way the chain stays in the same plane as the back wheels. To create a situation where the rear end moves in the same arc as the chain, so the chain doesn't get tight or loose, or to create a tensioner that automatically tightens and kind of loosens as the rear end's bouncing up and down. To do all that in such a way that it doesn't chuck the chain and damage the engine. These engines are known for having a thin case. Right here, you can see this one's even chewed up and getting damaged. So I really wanted to kind of hook things together in a rigid way so that I wouldn't have to worry about the chain hopping off. And even with that, I might put you know, something like this to kind of make sure the chain stays somewhere near where it should be, or I have some other, something like that as a chain keeper, right? So what do I have left to do? This motor mount is just, well, what do I have left to do? First thing I need to do is get these rails to where I want them, and I really need to drill underneath here, right, and get these, I think you guys could see my fingers, get this bolted up against the frame. Make sure it's tight up against the frame and it's bolted up tight. So that's first. Need to get that done. Once I get that done, right, I'm fixed. I have at least one point rock solid fixed. Need to get the back bolted up, and with this, make sure I do it in such a way that I can put some kind of bumper on it. So then that's fixed. Got to make sure I'm parallel, straight, kosher, all that stuff is right. Got a lot of cars screaming up and down this road here. UPS. Anyway, I got to get that right. Make sure I get the chain on here in such a way that it's not hitting, right? Right. Make sure the chain rides true, doesn't interfere with anything. So get finish welding this, get the back motor mount. Once I have the back motor mount, I know where this is going to be. I could get a rough idea where my brake's going to be, right? I can kind of start setting the tilt, right? Then I could do my top motor mount up here, and then I can figure out what I'm doing with the front motor mount. Given that I'm hooking up all the motor mounts, top, and the top motor mount will probably also hook back to here and probably bolt up down here somewhere, right? So given that it will have frame motor mounts, top motor mounts that go to the frame, and the golf cart front motor mounts that go to the frame, I'm thinking the motor should be solid. I shouldn't have any trouble with that, and I should beat it about. Why did I pick the TRX200SX motor? Because I want it reverse. I could have slammed any Honda clone in here with a centrifugal clutch or torque converter and had a very nice machine to beat about on, but I want it reverse. What am I doing with this thing? It's going to start off looking like a stock golf cart, a really ugly stock golf cart, and then I'm not sure if eventually I'm gonna create more utility for it, or you know what I'm gonna do with the tires. I'm not sure about any of that, and I guess in my mind, my thoughts are I'm gonna kind of worry about that after I get it moving. Obviously, it's gonna have a disc brake. Probably cable actuated. I think I got the disc brake right here. So it's going to be a cable actuated disc brake, and there we are. I want to start moving on this more real time because I really want to get this mess off the driveway. I really got to start moving this forward. I mentioned in the beginning 12-14. I'm really skating with trouble. I'm going to end up with snow sooner or later, and then I'm just screwed, right? What am I going to do with this mess, right? I need to be able to, if the snow is really bad, get the backhoe loader out. If not, get the snow blowers out and keep this driveway clear. Many of you know my wife teaches piano. That provides some of the income that runs the Hoard. And if nobody could get in the driveway, she can't teach piano. She no teach piano, no money come into Hoard. Hoard has financial problems, so I gotta make sure I got this whole place going. Over the years, I've really picked up a lot of great deals. I have to just get to the point where I'm storing them and dealing with them better, right? I mean, cubes under plastic really isn't the way you should take care of your stuff. I mean, under that thing is a big old single lung diesel, and I think there's a generator head out here. Yeah, next door to it is the generator head. I mean, how's that for a way to take care of a diesel and a generator head? I mean, there's another generator right there, a Generac. And the scariest thing of all is in this plastic. Well, take my word for it. Yeah, that under that plastic right there is a brand new Kubota diesel. I think it's a 722 D722, brand new. Look how it's being cared for. So I got to get my stuff together here. Obviously, I'm out of control. Folks, I want to thank you folks for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and please get out there and enjoy all your days, even if you're just trying to get yourself a little organized. Bye now.